Night photography with the iPhone 12 Pro is both simple and amazing, and in this video I'm going to show you how and give you some clever tips and tricks to maximize your experience. So let's begin by opening the camera app. Night mode is a new feature that Apple came out with that began with the iPhone 11 Pro and Max, and they've improved upon it in the iPhone 12 Pro. Your camera will automatically detect when you're in a dark area. So if you can't see night mode now, just go into a dark room. Once you are in a dark room, you're going to notice the icon will come on automatically. Once you're in night mode, you can take up to 10-second exposures handheld, or you can shoot up to 30 seconds when your camera's on a tripod. I got a 10-second exposure of the Auroras while I'm sitting in my van. In most cases, the default shutter speed will be 3 seconds. All you have to do is touch the icon for night mode, and then this wheel will show up. You can swipe left or right to change the shutter speed. I'm going to change my camera to 10 seconds. And that's mostly all you have to do. However, there's more. Let's make sure we turn camera flash off. If you swipe up on the screen, you're going to notice some advanced options. Over here is camera flash. Set this to off. Now all you need to do is focus. In most cases, your camera will autofocus just fine. If you touch the screen on something bright or a high contrast area, you'll make sure your camera is locked into focus. And if you're out in the country, you can even focus on a bright star or the moon. Then all you have to do is gently hit the shutter button and hold still for 10 seconds. Your phone will even put these crosshairs on the screen to help you stay centered. Isn't that incredibly simple? Anybody can do this. Your phone is not taking one 10-second exposure. It is taking a whole bunch of shorter exposures, and then using artificial intelligence technology, it is aligning the image and stacking them to remove noise. If you're going to be doing night photography handheld, this only works really well when you're in urban environments, when there's a 60% moon or brighter, or very bright auroras. Anything else, and you'll have to use a tripod. If you are doing urban night photography, where you focus does matter. Your camera's going to optimize the exposure for where you focus. Generally speaking, you're going to get a balanced image if you just let the camera do the focusing for you. However, if your highlights are overblown, you may want to focus on the brightest part of your image. Or if your darks are too dark, you may want to focus on a dark part of your image. You notice by changing where I focus changes the way the image will look. Another way you can brighten or darken your images is, once you touch the screen to focus, you'll notice to the right there's this sun. If you drag the sun up, this will brighten the image. If you drag this down, it will darken your image. So let's try a tripod. Once you put your camera on a tripod, you can now shoot up to 30 seconds. I bought this tripod at Walmart for $35. Once I attached my camera, I had to wait a few seconds, but the camera detected it was stable and now allowed me to take up to a 30-second exposure. The next option you're going to want to set up is a 3-second delay. As soon as you touch your shutter button, it's going to shake your tripod a little bit. So go into the advanced options by swiping up. This icon over here is where you can find a 3 or a 10-second delay. We'll just use 3 seconds. I'll use 10 if I want to be in the picture. Now when you hit your shutter button, your camera is going to count down before it fires the shutter. So now you're all set. Just fire the shutter button and let's check out the images. As you can see, like magic, this phone does a great job. When you're shooting at night, cold weather and long exposures will drain your battery faster, so make sure you have a fully charged phone when you go out. I like doing my urban night photography handheld. That way it's very simple to get shots shooting up. And it's easy to get really low to get these amazing reflection shots. My favorite all time for doing night photography in cities is just after it rained. When I'm shooting auroras, I prefer using the 10-second handheld mode. But that's really meant for bright auroras. Down here in southwest Saskatchewan, we don't get bright auroras that often. These were weak auroras, but they still look pretty good. And if you shoot auroras in under 10 seconds, you're going to see the movement in them. If you take a 30-second exposure, they'll just become a green blob. And I finally got to shoot the Milky Way this morning. A 30-second exposure on a moonless night, and you can actually see the Milky Way with the iPhone 12 Pro. I will admit, this phone does not do a very good job of shooting 30-second exposures for dark sky nights. Here's what the Milky Way looks like. You can see it, but there is a lot of grain and artifacts in here. You may have noticed some of the buildings in my photos are lit up. When you're doing night photography with long exposures, you could just simply grab a flashlight, walk 30 feet away, and illuminate the building for a few seconds. Painting with light is a lot of fun. I even made an entire video on how to do painting with light. And don't be bummed out if it becomes cloudy when you're trying to do night photography. I love shooting on cloudy nights. I think clouds look dramatic and spooky. And here is a tip from my wife. When you're doing night photography, you must have clean lenses. So bring an approved cloth for wiping your lenses clean. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion, leave it in the comment section below. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you get some great night shots.